Salutations, all you lovely people out there. You're listening to the Downhill Perspective Podcast. This is episode 16, featuring... What's your name?
Philip Bunti Sabat. How you doing?
I'm really glad you pronounced your last name, because I just realized that I've never actually pronounced your last name. And I hesitated. And say it for me one more time.
Bunti Sabat.
Bunti Sabat?
Yeah, I've heard it mispronounced in wildly vivid ways. Like, there's like, for some reason, and I don't know why this is like really common, but people will add a CH sound to it. Like, so they'll say like Bunti Sabat. And just because they like, it's such a long last name for them, and it's so foreign that they like have to add like different sounds to it.
America.
Like, if they had to make it Flemmy and stuff and be like, it's not like an Eastern European surname or anything, so, but, yeah, but, you know.
Alright.
People are weird.
Yeah, people are weird. Everyone's just winging it 24/7 is one thing I've figured out in my brief adult life.
Oh, yeah.
We're just all winging it.
Yeah, I like, those posts by, a lot of people who just say, like, adulting is just realizing that every adult is just, you know, are still kids and they're just figuring it out as they go too.
Yeah, you see a lot of those, especially on the Twitters.
Oh yeah.
Not on Tumblr though.
Dude, I had a Tumblr for a while.
You did? What did you use your Tumblr for?
For blogging.
How often did you look at porn on Tumblr?
I think when I first heard about Tumblr, that's like my friends in high school, they're like, this is some like artful porn. it's just porn.
It's just black and white. They both look like they like love each other.
And then like, but I need this this girl, her name was Vicky, and I don't know, I'm giving out her name, but like she had a Tumblr and stuff. She was in my French class, and like we found her Tumblr somehow, and she just had like videos and gifs of like women being bukkakeed on and stuff, and like that's what she thought was like funny or like interesting in her lifetime. And
did you talk to her about it?
No, dude, not at all, dude.
Yeah.
All I know is that I had a crush on her, and I probably still did, but I was like, I will never be as cool as this Tumblr person.
Do you think she's getting bukkakeed as we speak?
Nah.
Do you think she's living out her fantasy?
No, I think she's doing what everyone else in Willoughby is doing, or like
heroin.
half the people in Willoughby are doing heroin. Which, that's a tragic ending, dude.
It is.
You'd rather she'd get on.
Yeah, like, man, just get jerked off on by like 7 dudes all at once in a circle, like, or a line. Whatever it is at the time, but don't do heroin, ladies and gentlemen.
Gosh, can you
and
imagine?
Our non-binary listeners.
Yes, go gender fluid people.
Yeah.
Gender is a spectrum, and I totally agree, man. But can you imagine the first like the porn like industry producer whose idea that was and stuff, because it's not like that was naturally made in a session of lovemaking where like, you know, like, let's spice things up, I
don't know, man, caveman got down. although from a caveman's perspective, like, you don't want to jizz on the person because you want to procreate.
Exactly.
So you want to jizz inside of the person and get that DNA to carry on. So yeah, maybe you're right.
I'm glad our talk about porn has turned into a talk about evolution. That's some great transition. So
yeah, you never know which corner we're gonna turn down here on the Downhill Perspective.
Yeah.
But so I digress. Let's take a break from porn for a second. We'll get back to that later.
Yeah, that was a strong start.
Yeah, came out the gates swinging.
Just blew our load.
Literally.
Literally. Yes.
Like, I should probably go change my pants. Phil, you should probably put pants on.
Oh, yeah.
We're on our porch. This is not a place to be pantsless.
This This is downhill perspective for a reason.
That's true. Nice perspective on that. Anywho, the reason we are conducting this podcast with who we are conducting it with is because we just had another wonderful installment of the Downhill Dinners.
Yes.
Organized by this lovely gentleman right here. He put in a lot of hard work, a lot of planning. I'm assuming probably went into it.
It was a lot of thinking, but like not a lot of planning and organizing. It's like a unfortunate characteristic of my personality is that I'm really poor at organizing. So, I mean, once again, though, shout out to everyone who was involved and helped in any way they could. Like, seriously, like, it really requires a pretty good team to, like, carry out these dinner parties, especially one that was, like, conducted by me, because, like, so I think that was, like, what, our 5th dinner party.
Yeah, something like that.
Our first one was at the compound, before it was the compound, and it was just Bronson and Lex wanting to invite people and just feed them. I think there wasn't even a menu on it. It was just like literally just like,
hey, we're gonna make you shit.
Yeah, we're just like, I think Bronson made mussels, and he took the mussel broth and like made it into pasta, and I bought like a bunch of cheese and crackers and stuff, and we just got like really high throughout the day, and like I like fall asleep after eating for like an hour and a half or something, and then it progressively became more of an event and more of an ordeal.
Yeah.
And stuff. But
I think my first dinner party that I went to was the 3rd one, I think, that we had in the White House. It might be. We had it at the White House.
Yeah, that was the first one. Yeah.
The one where we had the alcoholic fruit kebabs. Those were fucking awesome.
Oh, man.
I've never enjoyed getting... I'm not really a drinker. I don't often enjoy getting drunk, but I've not enjoyed getting drunk more than eating fruit off a kebab.
I don't even remember that. I actually don't even think, for like our latter end of the dinner parties, I don't think I ate anything from like whatever the menu was on. Because I was so busy just like figuring out like being a front house manager.
Yeah, that was the first one I went to, and the only one I actually ate at. I was not part of the staff during that. Well, when the food was done, I like
helped clean up.
Yeah, I helped clean up and
That's
shit,
good.
and I think I helped run some food at some point.
Yeah,
but then is it the 6th one? Maybe it was the 4th one that I went, because the one we did after that was the one at the diner.
So, I think so. All right. So there's the first one, which was at the compound, or at the treehouse. The second one was at Joe Mullins' old place when we were living on Lincoln side.
Oh, okay.
Third one was like the compound one. Then the 4th one was, I think, at Mara's parents' house.
Oh, that's
is at the diner.
That's right. Right. I totally forgot about the
yeah, that was a very subtle one, because I think it was just kind of like, it was a very like I think I had to work that day, and just it was kind of a very like low affair. I think it was actually, because it was a dinner party that I don't think Bronson was involved in, because he was out of town then. By the way, Bronson is a very young and up and coming, like, I think he's like in New York right now.
Oh, he's in New York now?
I think so.
That's cool. I know he was in Colorado for a while.
Yeah, he was in Colorado.
New York.
Oh, I don't remember what restaurants he works in, but it's very nice restaurants that I can never afford. So, like, you know, and, you know, he, like, so, like, the reason why this was so weird for me is because, like, I was usually the front house manager of sorts to, like, any dinner party. And I was just handling food running and just making sure everything on the front end was not a disaster.
That the servers weren't trashed.
Yeah. So, like, so this is the first one where I was the actual, like, chef, I guess. And, like, you know, I'm not saying, like, I even hate saying the word chef because like I am by no means like a chef. I just like I don't know. My essential process of that dinner party, the one that we just had at Murata's, was me just plating up a bunch of food and like dictating rules and just kind of being like the executive head of things, and like it was just, like very surreal and kind of weird. But
You were the HBSC.
yeah, so but no, it was great though. It was a Laotian Latin fusion. As you may or may not know, viewers, I am Laotian. And
Is that like a French Ocean?
yeah. From the country of Laos, which
Derailed.
is the plural of lice. It reminded me of that King of the Hill joke where they were talking, was it Susanosophone? And he's like, I'm Laotian. And then, Bill was like, which ocean are you from? Are you Chinese or Japanese? And he's like, it was just a really funny episode. And, you know, of course I could be offended by it, but I love King of the Hill. That's just a great show. But anyway, it's a Laotian Latin fusion because I found that there's a big crossover of like flavors between the two cultures. We both like chili peppers and mangoes and cilantro and limes and all that stuff. And I don't know, I just try to form the two. I think our next dinner parties will probably be more or less more of a Laotian fusion with something else, some other culture.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. I unfortunately didn't get to try any of the food this time. But I heard nothing but amazing things about
I
it.
actually also did not eat any of the food again. Or I mean, I had like our first course was nam khao, which is just like rice balls that are like deep fried. So I had some of that, of course, because it's like. But for the most part, I'm a vegetarian, and a lot of our dishes had meat in it. I've actually never done the dessert course whatsoever, which was like a purple sweet rice, mango sorbet, and fried banana. And I've never had any of those up until like, or I never even made them up until the day of the dinner party.
Wow.
So it was a very experimental kind of thing.
Literally won it.
I just knew that like the purple sweet rice would be great because I mean my mom would make it for like special events and stuff, and it was like a staple dessert dish. But yeah, for the most part, I didn't like eat any. I didn't eat the fish taco, the steak tacos. I did as a kid, but like, you know, not in a taco format. So hopefully, yeah. But I'm glad everyone said it was really good. I think Simon's mom, who's she's like a food critic, isn't she?
I think so.
Or she's like, she writes in a magazine about food.
She writes
like,
for something. I can't remember.
It's
what
food
it was,
related.
But they're both like food buffs. They both really like food.
And
I remember a dinner party at Simon's actually way back in the day, way before I even knew you. It was actually really good. It was like a year or two after Simon's punk phase ended. Which
I wish Simon back then.
I wish you could have known Simon. It was weird, man. Like, cause from well, I first met the dude when I was in 8th grade. He was in 7th grade, and he had like a big like red mohawk, like
a spiky,
like Liberty spike
God.
mohawk. Like legit ass mohawk. He was like greasy as fuck. I love the dude. I'm not trying to talk shit, but he was greasy as fuck.
Because he's so not like him
a
now.
Punk. Yeah, he was a textbook punk. And then one day, like, it was either my sophomore or my junior year in high school. One day he just came in, his mohawk was shaved, and he was dressed nice. And he was like, I'm a jazz cat now. And just from then on out, he was the jazz cat.
Yeah, he wears like I think he wears like a newsboy cap.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And he leaves like several buttons on his shirt, like unbuttoned and stuff, and like he wears like a fucking dress jacket or whatever, a suit jacket at the time. That's how I imagine him. Actually, I don't think he actually wears this all the time, but that's how I imagine him.
That's what he's wearing whenever I see him.
And so like I only know Simon after he was living in like Brooklyn and stuff. But like when I talk to him, it's so funny to me because he has this hybrid like Ohio Brooklyn accent.
Yeah.
Like you can like hear it.
It's poking
very,
through.
it's poking through that he's just been there for such a long time.
Yeah, my sister's been living in West Virginia for, I don't know, it's probably been a couple years now, but she's the southern accent's really getting there.
But anyway, Simon's mom, I think, like what, writes in for like the food industry or something, or is a food critic, and Simon messaged me about the dinner party, and apparently they liked it. They thought the service was kind of shitty, but for like a little bit, and like at a certain point, because like here's what happened in the first course. They were the last tables to get their course, and it was like, while everyone else was getting their food, they were the ones who got their food last, and like I don't know, and it was just like that was not okay by any means or standards.
I mean, someone has to get the food last.
Well, someone does have to get the food last, but like I don't know, if you're a food critic and if you're an actual restaurant, they will get their food first.
That's true.
And stuff.
That's a good point.
But they like the food, so.
Was that the only complaint they had about the service?
But they said it wasn't even that bad anyway. I hope they're probably just being nice, but it really warms my heart, their compliments.
Yeah. But, I think my neighbor might be about to mow the lawn. We might have to move this inside due to sound pollution.
Okay, yeah.
But we'll cross that bridge when we get there.
I think he's just
got
moving his lawnmower.
But man, speaking of lawnmower, so I neglected to mow my lawn for like the first few weeks of summer, and it got like really tall because I was terrified to start my lawnmower because I thought it just wasn't going to start, and I didn't want to have to deal with getting into the lawnmower, so I just put it off. And then a couple weeks ago, I finally was like, all right, I'm going to just bite the fucking bullet, mow the lawn. Grass was like almost knee high.
Oh my god.
Ridiculous. So I pull out the lawnmower. It actually does start, which made me really happy. It started relatively easily too. But I got about halfway through mowing the front lawn, and I ran out of gas. So like half the lawn was mowed, and the other half was just like tall as fuck, like the tree lawn.
That looks super trashy. It looks trashier than having like an unkempt lawn.
Yeah, and yeah, fuck. I'm sorry, we keep getting derailed from what we're talking about. Dinner party.
Hold on, before though, I want to say I have a push lawnmower, like the old like rolling lawnmower. So all those problems that you have with your lawnmower, I don't.
Does it work well? Cause we have a push one too, but it doesn't really work that great.
It works well unless I think if you just keep your lawn unkempt and stuff, and you move it at a different angle instead of like a trajectory angle, but like I mean it's gonna like you're gonna have to put force into it, and you're gonna have to put energy into it and stuff, and like you're like really like pushing down as well as pushing like out. So but other than that, like it's a pretty good workout, but it works.
I like mowing lawn. It's a pretty zen activity.
Almost something. Yeah, it's like American zen garden shit.
Yeah. Except our lawnmower doesn't have one of those flaps on the back, so your shins are getting pinged, man. Which really sucks, because for those of you who don't know, our driveway is like a loose rock driveway. So it gets pretty nerve-wracking. That's why the edges of the lawn by the driveway are still long, because I did not want to get too close to the driveway in fear of breaking my shins.
Yeah, there's a huge border around your property.
Yeah.
It's there.
Yeah, I also couldn't really get too close to the fire hydrant or that pole that's in the tree lawn, so it's long as fuck there too. I'm sure this is just absolutely riveting conversation for whomever's listening. I'm sure there are some lawn mowing fans out there that are like, yeah!
Yeah, dude, for the lawnmowers out there, way to go.
Yeah. You're doing the good Lord's work.
I hope that's not the Lord's work. but I miss those, like, the suburban competitions. I don't miss it because I never experienced it, but I always wanted to, like, have those, like, best lawn at the neighborhood awards. I never get to it, but like I like how the idea of people like going outside and putting a ruler to their like lawn and like measuring out their blades of grass and like getting like how an even playing field or whatever, field.
That's the most honky shit
Super
in
honky,
the whole world.
Super honky, but like there's just people out there who are just super proud of their lawns.
Yeah, it was always funny to me because I grew up predominantly in University Heights, and there has to be like several best home competitions because I swear I would see signs. It's like, you know, best home like 2016 or whatever, but in like different yards for the same year.
It's probably just a yard sign you can buy at Walmart.
That's what I'm thinking, man.
He's so funny. Like, I'm definitely gonna get that.
We can't have like 3 or 4 best homes. Like there can only be one. Oh, that makes me. I was behind like. I don't remember the make of it, but the model was a Highlander. It was a car, it was like a Toyota Highlander or something, and right under where it said Highlander, there's a bumper sticker that said, "There can only be one." And I was like, that's so easy. Like, how have I never seen this before?
I'm glad you got a kick out of that. I'm glad you got to see that in reality.
Yeah. I also saw a rare, yesterday or the day before, I was driving behind someone that had a Ohio Disc Golf Association or Ohio Professional Disc Golf Association like bumper sticker, and like a big like square bumper sticker that was like a disc golf basket with
so
like
weird,
the logo behind it. Dude, disc golf's fun. You ever play disc golf?
I've never played disc golf.
It's so much fun. I think you would love it.
I used to live near a disc golf course, but like I never found anyone to play with, nor did I found an interest to play.
We should take a downhill field trip and go play disc golf.
I'm totally down. I think we're also gonna plan a Cedar Point thing, but
that'd be
cool. Our personal plans. What were you talking about?
My uncle was a couple of my uncles are actually like state champion disc golfers in Indiana.
Wow.
They like helped like plan and build a couple courses in the area, and
it's so dope.
Yeah, right. They're really fucking good too. Played with them a few times, and they annihilated me.
Gosh, I like that idea. I think the true essence of life
about honky shit though.
The true essence of life is like finding a hobby you love to do and like doing it so that it can benefit others and you get paid for doing it, kind of thing. Not like do a hobby that you can make a career out of, because like the second anything becomes like a job, it becomes laborious and cumbersome in one's life, I find. Like, you know, like I used to enjoy cooking when I first started cooking, and now I hate it because I do it as a job. I mean, I like doing dinner party events, of course, and stuff, because that's a whole nother thing besides just cooking. I guess what I liked about it is the theoretical parts, where I actually just spent a lot of days researching, like, Laotian cuisines, and just remembering the whole palette and flavors of all these dishes and stuff, and seeing what will go great with others, and all that kind of stuff, But yeah, do something you love, and do it so it benefits others.
Hashtag save the world.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's Lex's philosophy. It's so funny. But no, shout out to him, by the way. I think he had a backyard show the day we had our dinner party.
This is a CD release show.
Oh yeah, that's right. I have to call him about it. And but everyone go listen to Lex Trifecta.
Yeah, you can find him on SoundCloud.
Yes.
He is one of the more talented and most ambitious people I've ever met. He's something, man.
To me, yeah.
They broke the mold when they made him.
He just had just like amazing leadership qualities.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Oh,
him and Giles both, man.
Giles is a great leader.
They're both just like fucking powerhouses of human beings.
During the dinner party, Giles like referred to me as chef a couple of times. I'm like, dude, stop it. Like, don't. And he, like, when we came out to like do our speeches or whatever, I came out in like my tie-dye chef coat, and I like wearing it because it's like so funny to me, and I like making the pun like I don't bake but I like to bake and stuff, and that's why I bought it. It's like a $40-$50 pun that I bought. and then or not chef, but like Giles comes out with like a white pristine chef coat and stuff, and he's got like his like towels like draped over like the drawstrings of like his apron, and he just looks like a natural chef about it. And you know what, he's also a great leader and stuff, and I'm glad we unofficially made him the downhill leader. I think we'd have conversations about like how to improve productivity, and I think I'd just say to him like, dude, just take the lead. If you tell someone to do something and you do it and he does it in such a way where he's not yelling at anybody, he's not forcing anyone to do anything. He's just like,
it's a very matter of fact kind of conversation, you know. It's not like, why the fuck aren't you doing this, like you need to get this done. It's just like, hey, do this. Exactly. And you're like, alright, bet.
So but yeah. Oh yeah, so for our next downhill events that I personally want to be involved with and I want to start doing is I want to get into edibles. I think, and just like I have somebody who can get us some goods and stuff, and I want to make like edible gelato, edible croissants and stuff. Like, and I think we're gonna go for like a breakfast direction kind of thing or something like that. And then a DIY open mic.
Yeah, Alex and I are going to start meeting on that very, very soon.
Oh, that's good.
Because that's what we're turning smoke break sessions into.
That's right.
Yeah. Which, on that note, smoke break sessions coming to you very, very soon.
Ooh-wee.
The videos have recently left the cutting room. We're just working on some promo material for it at the moment. You'll see some of that promo material this week. And then it's either going to be next Wednesday or the following Wednesday that videos are going to start dropping. So that'll either be the 6th or the the 6th or the 13th of June. And then they're going to be released weekly.
Oh, beautiful.
And then hopefully by the time those are done releasing, we will have recorded season 2 of
you guys should do
Smoke Break Sessions.
Some Steely Dan, man. Cover a Steely Dan song.
Yeah, well, I don't know if the live instruments are going to be an every once in a while type deal for it, just because it's a lot of work, and I want to be able to churn out content faster than that.
I feel you.
So I think we're going to do, more like performances like how we've done, where we play the backing tracks and have, people sing and rap over it and shit, which it will be easier to get better audio for, because we could just do direct ins from the mics. So the audio is going to be clearer and better. You can actually hear the vocals a lot better when we do it like that. And then we'll have other stuff too. Like it won't just be people rapping or singing, like you or anyone doing comedy, people doing like just different forms of art, dance,
definitely.
stuff, just cool shit.
It's usually at the end of the day, it's just like there's a lot of talented people in the city. There's a lot of people who are being overlooked, I guess, or just who don't feel confident enough, I guess, about what they're doing, and don't think they're like doing it well, and they'll just compare themselves to somebody else. But like, no, there's just like a lot of people who need to get out there and need to be put in front of a camera and do things and stuff, and we should all be about that.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to how that's going to progress and evolve as a series that we do.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it too. So,
and same with the dinners, like just seeing how far these dinners have come.
Oh yeah,
it's insane. Like the first one, like you said, was just like Bronson and Lex just wanting to cook food for people and just getting blitzed and cooking food and enjoying it. And then now the last two we've actually held in legitimate restaurants. Maradas wants us to do it monthly.
Yeah, like we're gonna have to talk to you more about that.
And I'm not making promises there because finer details have to be worked out before that's a thing, I'm assuming.
Yeah, it's just the only thing that matters is like food costs and stuff, but I think
Yeah,
I think it's something I could definitely do, like, you know, and part of it's like, I think we spent an entire month, or at least I spent an entire month of just like freaking out about flavors, what courses to do, how to do it, how to serve it, getting ticket sales, social media outreach, personal outreach kind of stuff, which is to me the most nerve-wracking part of the whole thing.
Absolutely.
But I think, but Murata's, and my boss, she said, like, she'd handle the advertisement, so that's just a load off my mind. If I could just focus on the food and the ingredients and, like, how something is processed and produced, and, like, that's definitely what I'd like to do.
Yeah. Yeah, that's one thing that kind of wore me down putting smoke break sessions together was, like, you know, organizing all the people, actually composing the material, because, you know, we had material we were working off of, but we had to, like, play it.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, there weren't like guitar tabs out there for any of the shit we were doing, and nothing like that. So, like, composing the shit, organizing all the people, practicing it, and oh my gosh, it was stressful. It was certainly I was really nervous. Seriously. In the days leading up to that event, but it ended up going really well.
Cause I don't know what you do, but I always fixate, like, on the worst case scenario and everything going wrong. And actually, like, yesterday, like, I mean, people said the food was good, but it was, like, very close to being an unmitigated disaster. When we got to the restaurant, we were actually kind of very short on time of, like, getting the meats ready. I had to throw out all of our vegetarian rice balls because they just went really bad. And I'm glad I fried one just to check and stuff, and, like, you know, whatever. Our rice cooker was just shit in the bed, so, like, I couldn't serve out, like, rice for one of the tacos and stuff, and, like, it, you know, and everything was, like, so disorganized, of course, and that's, of course, my fault. The music stopped halfway because issues with my phone and Bluetooth, and, yeah, it was just kind of weird. But it worked out fine, and I didn't, like, put, you know, good thing I was, like, so busy and involved with, like, plating the dishes and all that stuff that it, like, you know, I couldn't, like, fixate too heavily on any of the problems. But, yeah, I always focus on, like, the problems that go wrong, and I just give myself anxiety just doing it.
Yep. That's how it goes.
Well, but, yeah, but it won't be like the next dinner party. I guess. I hope so.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm looking forward to everything we're doing in the future, man. It's going to be a awesome summer for Downhill.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of really awesome shit happening. Gills' tape is coming out soon.
Gills' tape is coming out soon. Everyone's producing new things. Oh, I actually changed up my comedy style a bit, and I'm actually, like, really loving it lately.
I can't wait to hear it, man.
I'll tell you guys one joke and stuff, but, like, so, like, I would, like, give myself anxiety as per usual, like, preparing for a set. So I'd, like, write down all my jokes into, like, a notebook, or, like, type them out into the computer and just reread them over and over again until I, like, memorize it in my head. But by the time I memorized it in my head, it just, like, became so monotonous, and, like, I would read the jokes, and then, like, I've read it so much in my head, and I've told it so much to myself that, like, I no longer felt any type of way with it. And so now I just get on stage, I write some bullet points down, and, like, it goes pretty good. I get laughs, and I'm comfortable on stage, and I think that's the stuff I want to focus on. But I have this one-liner that I, like, really love. It's like, my friend, she's getting back together with this one guy who, like, kept cheating on her and stuff. And I was, like, really mad about that, and I, like, she was, like, really steamed, and I wanted to say something about her. But then I remembered that the Japanese had 2 atomic bombs dropped on them, but they still employ nuclear energy. And, you know, so if they can make it work. And that's it.
That just takes such a left turn. Like,
Yeah.
you don't expect it to go in that direction.
And when I do that on stage, most people don't expect any of that, and it's like one of my jokes that gets a bigger laugh and stuff. I like gotta work on delivery and stuff, but like it's whatever.
Yeah.
I do when I'm on stage, it like feels natural, right? And I don't know, even if it's not a funny joke, people like it.
I enjoyed it.
But yeah, so that's like the new comedy I'm working on, I guess. I've been doing a lot more one-liners.
You can catch Phil's comedy set at a smoke break session in the near future, I'm sure.
Maybe.
I hope.
I will try to do it one day, and maybe with like the next couple of sessions we do into it and get involved. But I always like felt really weirded out by like the idea of like doing an open mic night that's also not primarily comedy and stuff. Because I've done several shows in my lifetime where it's like also musical act and stuff, or like bands playing and then a comedian or a poet gets on, and it always feels weird to me because like when I do it, it's like somebody does like a very like dramatic folky song about like tragedy and heartbreak, and I'm like, oh, let me get now on stage to tell you some jokes about, you know, this and that. I mean, I'm getting more personal and stuff about it, but it's like it's such a weird change in like tone, or like I guess when you're doing comedy in a comedy night format, like it's a set tone of like, oh, I'm expecting to laugh, and I'm hoping these comedians can make me laugh. But with like an open mic, you're just like, oh, you know, you're just like, oh, I just hope to be entertained and stuff. So you're not really expecting to laugh. You're just expecting to like, you know, see something.
Right. I dig it.
Yeah. Okay, if I may switch it up.
You're more than welcome to.
In a weird... Alright, so I think enlightenment... I think the idea of being enlightened is not so much like it's not so much like a point in one stage. I think it's like, I think enlightenment is the process of trying to be enlightened kind of thing, like or like the idea of being pure and hitting nirvana is just kind of like the process of you trying to reach that. Because I think the second anyone says they're like, they become enlightened and stuff, and they like reach the higher state of their being, it like, I always put a lot of cast in that and stuff, and I think like, as humans, I don't think like we, for one thing, would absolutely know what enlightenment feels like and stuff, and like how to go about that. And if you're like a Buddhist and you're like, to become like the highest form, I guess you just and reach enlightenment, you have to cast all earthly possessions, but like the one earthly possession you can't really cast away is your own body and stuff. And then desire is like the root of all evil, I guess, or the root of all suffering. And so like you kind of like desiring or like thinking you're in a enlightenment state is still in a way like you're desiring for something. So like I think,
so you think you can never truly reach enlightenment, but in your opinion enlightenment isn't what everyone says it was, it's the process of trying to become enlightened?
Yeah, it's like,
okay.
I think it's like, yeah, if you're just saying you're enlightened, then like you're not growing, you're just letting yourself just kind of like, you've reached this pinnacle in your life. And it's like when you're saying you're like perfect at something, like you're never perfect at anything.
Right.
You can only just get better at something. So that's what I think. That's what I've been really thinking lately. I don't know.
So. I dig it. I think.
Well, I hope you guys think that too. It's just been a thought that's rattled in my head for a bit.
Yeah, this podcast has gone all over the place. Who's home right now?
Yeah, we started out at Bukake.
Yeah.
Talked about Simon's mom for a little bit. Not in
unrelated.
And we finally talked about enlightenment and how I feel about that stuff. Hopefully with my next involvements with any other podcast, you know, I'm like a pretty spotty guest, I guess. we can continue talking about that stuff because it interests me forever.
Let's do a real shit podcast. Let's do a philosophy podcast one day.
Oh fuck yeah, dude! I remember when I was like a little kid and I would have insomnia. I would never be able to sleep, so I just would think a lot. And one day I thought like, oh, the meaning to life is whatever you make it. And I felt like hot shit that day. I was like, oh, I figured it all out. I'm like, and then
I got it, guys.
It took me a while to realize like, oh, that's just existentialism, and that's just like, you know, nihilistic existentialism as well, and all that philosophy. But I thought I was like the one who like figured it out. I was like, but ever since then, like, you know,
You're hot shit, bro.
I was like, no other 8-year-old is thinking this.
I know I wasn't. I don't know what the fuck I was thinking at 8. Couldn't even tell you, bro.
I think I was just very depressed as a kid.
Yeah. I think we all were.
For some reason. But,
I think it was all the video games and lack of physical activity.
dude, I wish I played more video games as a kid. All I did was watch TV.
Same difference.
Yeah, it's the same difference. Like, but I wish I like, you know, like I never watched cartoons as much as everyone else did. Of course, I watched SpongeBob and stuff, so I get it. But like,
Fear not, people. He has seen SpongeBob.
I have seen SpongeBob. I know those references and stuff. But
Milhorn's Law in action.
oh yeah,
Took 41 minutes. For
dude.
us
We
to
need
get
to like
SpongeBob.
do a sound effect when that happens, just like have an air horn.
Meow, meow, meow.
But I was saying, but no, I think I just grew up watching like sitcoms and stuff, like Family Matters,
Yeah.
and I think I
Watched a lot of cartoons.
yeah, I think I finally realized like how weird of a kid I was.
I think I always kind of knew how weird of a kid I was. Because, like, I spent most of my elementary school kind of being ostracized.
Oh, word.
And, like, I had friends, don't get me wrong, but like, yeah, never really fit in with the quote-unquote cool kids. And you know how elementary schools are, they're fucking brutal.
Oh, dude.
Once I got to middle school, like, I just became invisible, which was fucking sweet, but...
I think...
Yeah, so I kind of grew up knowing I was a really, really weird kid.
I feel I remember the name of the kid who was like the most popular kid. His name was Josh.
Of course.
And he
It
had
was either
like...
Josh or Chad, right?
His name was Josh. He skated. In the first grade, he already had a girlfriend. And he had an ear piercing. And he had like these like really like... I don't know why I like vividly remember this kid. But everyone was like everyone was this kid. Like everyone knew he was the most popular kid. I think all teachers even knew too. And like, you know, I never talked to that guy once because there's no reason for that guy to talk to me. But yeah, I was a weird ass kid who peed his pants once in the first grade. So
Yeah, I don't think I ever peed or shit myself at school. I I did frequently get nosebleeds though. I had chronic nosebleeds when I was younger.
gee whiz.
Yeah. I remember one time in specific I was like, I think it was second grade, and I started getting a nosebleed, and I was embarrassed by it, so I just like, I was hoping it was gonna stop, so I just like put my head down on the desk and I like was holding my hand under my nose.
Oh.
Just like stop, but then my hand started filling up and it just started spilling over to the seat, and I was like fuck. And then my teacher came over, like, you know, John, why are you laying your head down? Like, you should be paying attention. I just look up and it's just like a horror scene. She's like,
Oh my god.
Go to the nurse's office. Why didn't you say something?
Do you get nosebleeds when it gets like really hot outside, or like when it becomes hot outside and stuff?
It depends how much coke I've done recently. But no, I don't really get nosebleeds as much anymore. Like every once in a while. Like the last time I got one, I think it was because it was like really dry in my room because I was running the AC, and I just like woke up in the middle of the night. Have you ever like been woken up by the fact that you had a nosebleed?
Yeah, actually, like several times and stuff.
Yeah, it's weird. Like you just feel that tickle in your nose, and you're like, "What's up?" You just immediately. I've never woken up faster.
I've also slept through a nosebleed, which is 10 times weirder.
Yeah, that's so much worse.
It's like
your average. You just wake up in a pool of blood. Like, oh, did I drool? That's not drool. Man. Yeah, wide range of topics here.
Dudes, you're still. Nosebleeds are so weird to me. I get them all the time.
They annoy me. It's always weird when like the nosebleed's over and you kind of go to like clear your nose or whatever, or, like hawk a loogie, and you just get that big like blood clot. And it's just like, ugh.
I just think it never goes down my throat, the nosebleeds. I always just immediately like plug it up, I guess, and then I'll pick my nose later, so like take out the dry blood.
Yeah. Do you pick your nose?
Of course I pick my nose. I think everyone picks their nose.
Yeah, no one wants to admit it. It's one of those things.
You know.
Oh God, my manager's texting me. What does he want me to do tomorrow when I get in?
Oh,
let's find out live on the podcast what my manager wants. Can I contact that band director who needed that clarinet and give him those prices? I already did that. Bet.
Cool. Good job, man. Way to be a super good worker.
I guess. You know what? I'm getting text messages. We've been going for like 45 minutes.
This is one of the longer ones. I'm glad we've been able to talk forever about it. So good job, really everyone.
Well. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in. To anyone who's listening to this that attended the Downhill Dinner, we love you very, very much.
All right, love you guys.
We'll keep you guys posted for stuff coming out in the future. Aki's tape is dropping very, very, very soon.
Yes.
Do you have a date on that? I don't have an exact date on that.
I have no clue, honestly. I think it's just dependent on right now. Chris is mastering, I guess.
Okay, so whenever he gets back from Chris?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
That guy's busy.
Soon. Yeah, considering he's not charging us, like, I'm not complaining about how long.
Yeah, this is the free trial.
Yeah. Smoke break sessions premiering either next Wednesday or the following Wednesday. You'll see promo material from that soon, fully articulating exactly when it's going to come out.
Just follow us on Facebook.
Yeah. Facebook,
Instagram, Twitter,
LinkedIn.
You know, yeah, just
Neopets, GeoCities.
Oh fuck, I'm like choking on air.
She told me that.
But anyway, yeah, just follow us along any social media site, and we keep you posted.
Just search Downhill Collective. I'm sure you'll find us. I still refuse to memorize. Well, out of more so of a joke at this point, because like the first 8 podcasts, I just could not remember. Even if I tried, I could not remember any of our handles and stuff to find on social media. So at this point, I'm just just search. Just search Downhill.
I just can't.
You'll find us.
I'm so unable to.
You will find us if you search Downhill Collective. I promise.
I've been Tay, the social media director, and after I did, I'm like, I'm not gonna focus on any social media thing anymore.
All right.
But anyway, we love you.
We love you all dearly. Thank you for tuning in to this episode of the Downhill Perspective. I think I already said that. So at this point, good night, or good morning, or good evening, depending on what time you're listening to this. Besides the point, bye.